What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is the Real Housewives of Miami, season 4, episode 12, 11, 11. I think it's episode 11. So, we start this episode off. We see Marisol and the crew planning Alexia's bachelorette party. It's going to be at the Versace mansion. Marisol was like, listen, I love Alexia, that's my girl, but I ain't done this in a long time, and I'm, kind of over it before it even got started. They're gonna have, a penis pinata. She said that the venue doesn't even have Versace China. I have to bring my own Versace dinnerware. And that is weird that the Versace mansion doesn't have Versace China, even if it's just there for special occasions. Like, it may not be, because the Versace mansion now has been sold. It's like a whole restaurant and hotel situation. But it seems like even for private parties or for exclusive events that you would have Versace. It's the Versace mansion. Like, it's still the Versace mansion. You don't know what I'm saying? Anyway, I think the next time I go to Miami, I'm going to try to get a reservation there. I've been to the Versace mansion, but I've never eaten there since it's become a whole, like, a restaurant or whatever. But anyway, it's been a long time since I've been to Miami either, so, you know. Anyway, moving on. I'm talking, running my mouth. So, we find out that, Adriana is talking about how, Nicole still feels some kind of way about what happened in the Hamptons with Marisol or whatever. And they showed this clip of Nicole talking to Andrea about Marisol and how she thinks Marisol is a horrible person and she just doesn't have any use for Marisol. We continue to see this throughout the episode. Nicole talked to Lisa. Nicole talked to Juliana. Like, Nicole had this conversation with everybody about how she feels about Marisol. That's going to come back later, but she talked to everybody about it, okay? And Marisol was like, listen, it is what it is. Like I said what I said, I meant what I said. I'm not changing it. I'm not apologizing. And either she can be cool with it or she can't, but I'm done with it. Like, we talk, we're done. Like, and I can respect somebody that stands in their ish, because Marisol is just like, look, I feel the way I feel and I'm not changing it. And I can respect that. I can respect that she's standing in her ish, So, then we see that Alexia has finally found a venue that she likes. They're going to be getting married on the ship. And so we saw a tasting. Gertie was there with them and they did a tasting. And, she's being very picky, which I ain't mad at her for being picky. I'm not mad at her for being picky. It's your wedding. You've been through a lot to get here. Girl, if the food ain't good, it ain't good. If you don't like that, but you like this, that's what a tasting is for. Like, that is the purpose of a tasting, is to taste the food and say what you like and what you don't like. That's the purpose of it. So then, we saw her talking about, her family and how important this was to her. Everything with the sons that they went through. Later on in the episode, we see her meet up with her sons. And she's talking to her, I guess it's her youngest son, the one that's got the problem with her husband, or soon to be husband. And she said, I'm glad y'all cleared the air. I'm glad y'all are in a good place. She said, I think maybe we need some therapy. She said, I know I've been to therapy before, to deal with all the things that we've had going on. She said, and maybe maybe you should, seek out some therapy. And he was like, no, I'm good. I don't need to talk to nobody but grandma. Now, Alexia's mom is a therapist. So I can see where she would feel like, no, I don't need one. Like, where he would feel that way. But Alexia is worried because she said, well, my mom just isn't doing too well. Like, if he feels like that's the only person that he can talk to, and that's the only person that he can try to seek some therapy from, my mom may not be able to be that person much longer for her. And so that bothers me that he feels that way. That bothers me that, he feels like, because I think he needs some therapy. Girl, we all think that he needs some therapy. But he been needed therapy. And you just acting like he needs some therapy now. No, he's needed therapy for a minute. But I guess better late than never, child. Better late than never. I don't know. So then we saw Adriana and Julia meeting up for lunch. And they're basically talking about having empty nests. You know, Gianna's talking about how her child is gone and how she's alone now. She's very upset. She's, you know, very emotional. Probably the most emotional that we've seen her. She's always the jokester. She's always the one, you know, with either the attitude or a joke, right? But it was cool to see her open up and sort of be vulnerable and say, listen, like, I'm feeling very lonely. I'm feeling very lonely. And Julia is talking about the same thing. Her daughters are leaving. One daughter's in college. The other daughter's going to live with her father for a year in Paris. And she's like, I may or may not come back. Like, I don't know, Mom. And her third daughter is off. So, like, she's kind of going through the same thing. So we saw them bonding over that. And her saying, listen, you know, I'm glad I have you. Well, I'm glad I have you. Well, I'm glad we have each other. Child. The two of them, that relationship is weird. But, listen, if you like it, I love it, child. If you like it, I love it. Then we saw Lisa meeting up with Nicole, and they were just kind of catching up. Nicole is telling Lisa about her experience with her dad, how she's been trying to bond with her dad and trying to build their relationship up, and how he showed up drunk, and she's just frustrated with trying to have a relationship with somebody who obviously isn't interested in having a relationship with her, or at least not taking it serious as far as she's concerned. So then, Lisa opens up and says that, you know, her dad has similar issues that, you know, they've been trying to, you know, resolve or whatever. And then, of course, they have the conversation about about Marisol. And Nicole is like, I think you and Marisol, Lisa is like, I think you and Marisol can work this out. Like, would y'all just sit down and talk? And Nicole was like, no, I did it. Like, I tried to talk to her when we were in the Hamptons, and she walked away from me. Like, she didn't want to find a resolve. Like, I really was trying to get her to understand my point of view and understand why what she did was hurtful. She was over it. She didn't care. She didn't want to hear it. And so there's really no place for us to go with that. Larsa is looking for a house. Scotty has finally agreed to sign off on them selling their home, and they actually have a contract on the home, and they're actually going to get a pretty good price. I think not too far below what they were asking. And so, but the problem is now she has about 40 days to find a new house. So we see her house hunting, and now she's stressed out. She said, you know, I went so long with us being in limbo that now it's like, wait, go! And she said, now I'm stressed out because I have a little over a month to find a home, close on a home, pack up my old house, move out, move in. Like, and that is a lot. Like, that is a lot to do in such a small period of time. Especially trying to get closing on a house. Now, I know when you have money and you don't need special type of lending, things move a lot faster, but that's still a lot. Like, you still got to put the contract. It has to be accepted. You got to do the paperwork. Even if you can go to closing in 10 days, that only leaves you a month to pack up a mansion-sized house and move it into another mansion-sized house. Like, that's a lot. Anyway, but the house they looked at was really nice. Like, hell, I would love to live there. I ain't gonna front, you know. Ooh. I don't know if I'd want that to be my everyday house. If I were rich enough to have a beach house or a house on the water, I would like that. But I don't think I'd want to live on the water every day, all day. Like, I love the water. Water refreshes me. I need water. I told y'all before, I need the water to refresh my spirit. I have to get to a beach every year. I have to get to a beach. But ultimately, I don't know if I want to live there every day. But neither here nor there. Moving on. We get to the Versace mansion, and it is gorgeous. It is beautiful. It is everything you would expect the Versace mansion to be. The suite, the main suite, is $2,000 a night. It's called the Gianni Suite. Now, Marisol says, "Hey, I partied at the Versace mansion when it was the Versace mansion, when Gianni and Donatella and it was party." She said, "And listen, I partied here with Madonna and J-Lo and all these wonderful people." She said, you know, basically, if these walls could talk, kind of thing. And, you know, I ain't gonna lie. I would love to be a fly on the wall during those days. It's kind of like my desire to want to go back in time and go to Studio 54. Like, I would love to be a fly on the wall. Okay. Moving on. So then we see the dress code for the first day is Versace. Makes sense. Okay. All the ladies, except for one. Everybody looks really nice in their Versace. And they have everything from, you know, Versace couture, vintage Versace, to street Versace. You know what I mean? Like, you know, leggings and a top that says Versace all over it. And I'm here for it. Like, everybody looked really nice except for one. I wasn't crazy about Adriana's outfit. To me, she looked like Lil Bo Peep. But I'm guessing it was Versace because Marisol was clear about her theme, okay? So if it wasn't Versace, girl, she wasn't getting in the door. But it wasn't giving me Versace. It was giving me Gianni had a bad day and he threw that shit out there because it wasn't cute to me. But moving on. Everybody shows up. Nicole isn't, because they're spending the night, so they're having cocktail hour, so to speak. Then they're doing dinner. Then then they're having a sleepover, and the next morning they're having brunch, and then everybody's going home. So, Gertie isn't spending the night because she says she has a flight the next morning. She has to go. And Nicole isn't spending the night because she has to work the next day. But everybody else is staying there. So Adriana and Julia are staying in a suite. I think a suite by themselves. I think Kiki is staying in a suite with somebody else. And then Marisol, Lisa, Alexandra, and Larsa, I guess, are staying in the main suite. The bed is like huge. It's like 2 times a California, well, I can say 2 times, but it's like bigger than a California king. So it could sleep 4 of them. So maybe Kiki is sharing a room with the other 2 ladies. Maybe the 3 of them are sharing a room. Anyway, but they were asking, they were like, you think Adriana's going to be upset? She's going to have an attitude? And they were like, because we just never know what we're going to get from her. And I was like, you're right. Because Adriana is special. Like, you just never know what you're going to get from Adriana, child. While this is going on, Nicole is once again having a conversation with the ladies, talking about how she's just over Marisol. She can't do Marisol. Yada, 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 boo, da, boo, da, boo. So we get to dinner, and it looks like it's a nice dinner. And it is on Versace dinnerware, honey, and the food looks great and all that good stuff, cocktails and everything. And you know, Alexandria is like, thank you so much for being here. I love you all. You are my friends, and I appreciate it. And it was some outside people that weren't on the show there, so that's how you can tell when it's a real event versus just some shit they put together for the show. When you see real people there, so there were some of Alexia's real friends that just aren't on the show. They came as well, and they were having a really nice, you know, dinner or whatever. So then Lisa goes to speak, and Lisa talks about how much she loves Alexia, and how much she's been through, and how she just wants everybody to be friends, and she wants everybody to get along. So if there's anybody that needs to clear the air, they need to do it now. And I was like, what? Like, isn't this when we should go around the table and talk about how happy the couple is and how happy we are that our friend found love after everything she's been through? I mean, she was married to a man who was bisexual. Her son was in a traumatic car accident, and she's had to deal with that. She's a business owner and has had to deal with the stress of that. Like, can we not talk about how our friend has found love and why are we clearing airs? So Marisol says, well, I want to say something because it's come to my attention that, Nicole, you still seem to have a problem and you still don't seem to understand where I stand on this whole situation. And Nicole was like, girl, I don't know what you're talking about. And she said, well, everybody's coming back to me telling me that you seem to have a problem and you keep talking about it. And Nicole was like, girl, I answer questions. When people ask me, then I answer. Nicole, that's not quite how it goes down. But okay, girl. And she said, so you mean to tell me that every time that you were just responding to somebody, you weren't initiating? And she was like, no, I wasn't initiating, I was responding. And Marisol was like, listen, let me explain to you something, okay? I said what I said, I meant what I said, and as far as I'm concerned, it's done, it's over, and either we can be cordial when we're around each other or we don't have to be. But please know that you're not going to get nothing out of me that you ain't already got. And Nicole was like, girl, that's fine because I don't care anyway, and I'm not tripping, and I'm done with you too. Like, as far as I'm concerned, you don't exist. And Marisol was like, cool, and Nicole was like, cool. And it was real elementary school, but then Alexandra was like, really? This is what we doing? It's my bridal shower. It's supposed to be about me. They did talk about sex and stuff like that for a while, child. You know, the normal bridal shower talk. So then Julia says, well, I do have a problem too. And she says, I have a problem with you, Larsa. Now, here's what it boils down to. Julia is still upset about the having children out of wedlock comment. But I think part of it because of her language barrier, and I think part of it was editing. She didn't spend as much time on that, as then she started talking about how she feels like Larsa hasn't spent as much time with her and hasn't tried to get to know her, and how she feels like Larsa looks down on her. Now, Larsa immediately was like, girl, that is Adriana talking. Like, that is coming through Adriana. That is you, Adriana, speaking through you, because I have been nothing but nice to you. I have been nothing but kind to you. I don't know where this is coming from. I don't understand where this is coming from. Why in the world are you like, why would you say that? So then, Larsa, so again, I feel like things got lost in translation. So they got to go on at it, and then then Adriana got involved, and now the argument starts all over again with Adriana talking about, well, you were hanging with the Kardashians, and you came back to Miami thinking you were cute, thinking you were better than everybody else. And Larsa was like, girl, what you talking about? Like, where's this coming from? Like, I don't understand what this is what do you speak of? Child, that's what it is, okay? Now, y'all let me know what y'all think. We'll talk to y'all later. I'm trying my best to get caught up on the current season, but child, we got to get through this first because I got to know what I'm talking about, okay? I will talk to y'all later. Peace.